Hello everyone. It's time for another art stream that we're doing for Eldritchrune. Specifically today, I was debating, excuse me, I have a morning cough apparently. I'm getting old. Like, blah, can't talk, I only cough. But, let's see. I was debating if I wanted to do work on backgrounds or character stuff today. And I think we're going with backgrounds today. I'd like to get some backgrounds cleaned up so that I can, in turn, add some more character goodness. I think I got backgrounds today from parts 6 and 7 out of 20. So, still a ways left to go. Hello, thank you for coming. I hope that you're doing well on this Sunday, where it has been raining, but not as much today. And yay, it's a long weekend for me. I'll have more time to have a little bit of fun stuff going on tomorrow. But for now, more of this. It's mostly going to be a whole lot of wrecked buildings. Whee! Piles of hay. Hey, a paragraph is better than nothing. Always good to get something done. That's why I'm trying to get some of this done. Take Alfie's out later. Do my usual Sunday things. That now includes some drawings. Oh my goodness. We are just 2.5 weeks away from more chapters. Yeah, this is background specifically for, I think right now this is part 6 of the ending for Eldritchrune, which is why there are lots of destroyed buildings all over the place. There's going to be a lot of that, just a lot of stuff being wrecked in the background, which then in turn takes a while to draw. Actually, in some ways it's easier to draw wrecked stuff than it is to draw, like, normal stuff. Because with wrecked stuff, you're like, okay, it doesn't matter if it's not in a proper place, it's wrecked. But non-wrecked stuff, you gotta be like, okay, is this in its proper place? Nice. I did my replay in February, although I kind of want to like check on my files. Yeah, I think I got almost everything. There might have been like one small thing I missed, but I'm like, okay, this is, it's not 100%, it's like 95%. So I think like I missed a glow shard or something like that, or I don't know, but I got most stuff. I'm a little frustrated that I went to the trouble of like, okay, I'm gonna get all the character teas, one of all the character teas. Won't work. They're gonna turn into rotten bees. Okay. Fine. Makes sense, but fine. It has to be done. Yeah, you can tell from my last endeavor. Took me a while to beat Jevil. Not great at it. Yeah, we only have so much time again, only 2.5 weeks. Suppose I could do a replay on my PlayStation copies, because I still have old ones of that that I did with my friends, but I don't know if we have like 100% on that. Can you believe it? Deltarune is 2 and 3 weeks away. I'm so excited about this information. Just 2 and 3, so 2.5 weeks away. It's gonna go pretty quickly. I gotta prepare. I got my files ready, but I gotta prepare. I gotta clean the house before then, get sure all my work's done. Get all the food and snack stuff I want. I'll need to get my favorite snacks. Post to my socials. 2.42 weeks, so slightly less than 2.5. Or about as 2.5 as you can get. Well, I wonder which things that the fandom obsesses over. It's gonna be like, nope, that's not gonna happen. Or, surprise, you didn't see this coming. And you're like, us fools, we should have been aware of it all along, but you didn't see it. Oh, that sucks. Sorry about it. Like it's cool that you get to do Deltarune, but that sucks if you're like we're planning a trip with your family and that's not fun. Regardless of anything else, it's not fun to be sick. That's the other thing. I better not get sick. I better not. I'm feeling fine, so I don't think I should. I'd try and take care of myself. Hello, hello. Thank you for coming. And we're working on backgrounds today. I'll try and take care of myself. I take my vitamin, try and get plenty of sleep and water. I mask when I'm in public as often as I can. But I know you can do everything right and still it doesn't work, so it's just the reality of it. That's always a really unfun realization. It's like, I did everything right and I still failed, and it's like, it just happens sometimes. But, you know, it doesn't hurt to try. Regardless, I hope you get better soon. Because I think, I really need to prepare for travel I have to do in July. Ugh. Keep putting it off. I really can't keep putting it off. I gotta buy tickets and a bunch of other stuff. It's all good. You can hear me venting to you. But, yeah, I gotta buy plane tickets and I gotta get a dress and all this other stuff. I probably need to get more than plane tickets too. I probably need to, like, figure out a bus route or rent a car. Ooh. It's one thing to travel, it's another thing to travel to someplace you haven't been before, and it's like, there's like an extra stress involved in that. Especially by yourself. I don't really have anyone to go with. Travel is tough. It's kind of exhausting. Especially internationally, which is less fun right now. But need to do it. Today is a good day to do what needs to be done by me to defeat the enemies. Weirdly inspirational. I think this part for Eldritchrune is a bit more of a comedy beat to hopefully help soften the blow of the previous one, which gets pretty gnarly at the end. But at the same time, still people dying. It's just hopefully in a funny way. They're dying, but it's funny. They've got so many eyes. I'm gonna smoke later. At some point, maybe I should also do like some background shading on stream or something, because I've got a bunch of that to tackle that I haven't tackled yet. More to do. That's done. Piles of hometown's dust over here. Ugh. Oh, brother. That meme will probably never die. Piles of things you're gonna have to clean up later. Mostly a lot of lumber. lots to do. At least done with the roughs for this episode for work. Yay! Cleans will go much faster. And then I need to do a little, not overhaul, but some kind of redo cleanup stuff with my socials, I think. Might make a new PFP with my persona that's kind of consistent across all my stuff. And need to edit my Blue Sky profile and probably also stuff on my Twitch. So I need to do that in the next 2.5 weeks. Maybe also my YouTube or something. I'm gonna make a list. I really, really, really wish that Photoshop had this ability that Storyboard Pro does, where you can just like freeform straight lines by holding shift. It's extremely useful. That's why I do all my backgrounds in here, because you can just bloop bloop, make instant straight lines. On the other hand, I also wish that Storyboard Pro let you do like clean curves. Like, I don't know, the perfect circle tool. Sometimes you need to do a perfect circle and it's really hard to do. Yeah, I mean, there's a line tool, but I don't want to like get a different tool to do that. What's nice about this is, again, I can do a regular line, or I can hold shift and like do a straight line. It's incredibly fast. I don't have to change tools to do it. And you can kind of do that in Photoshop, but it's only straight vertical, straight horizontal. You can't freeform it. Whereas here, it's just a little click away. Yeah, super handy. I know I should stop using Photoshop and stuff because Adobe sucks, but I'm pretty entrenched in that, and I'm willing to jump if Procreate creates a desktop version, because I don't really like drawing on my iPad. Please let me draw on my PC. So, but it would be nice to get out from under Adobe because it is obnoxious. It is paid for. I do have to keep paying the fee, though. Yeah, for a while I was able to use the, I had a paid-for version, and it was working, and then it stopped working, and I was like, well, dang it. Which is why I'd like to get Procreate, because that is not continuous fees that keep going up. And it's not the worst, because, like, I can write that off on my taxes. But still, it's less it's costly and more Adobe sucks kind of thing. I don't know how to do that. I need to do that. I don't use it ever. It's so obnoxious. I hate it so much. Like, for my work, right click and unpin. I thought you had to like go through this whole thing, like where it keeps uninstalling itself. I guess I can unpin it. Okay, I'm putting the taskbar, but like, doesn't it? It's not like gone. It's like still on my computer. I want it gone from the computer entirely, not just the taskbar. Yeah, that's what I thought. Uninstalling is like more technicality. Evil's vanquished from my bar there. I need to figure out how to get rid of it on friggin' PDFs. It's so obnoxious. Oh my goodness. Like, for my work, I have to look at the scripts. Yeah. It's pretty much shoving it under the bed. For my work, for my job, I have to look at scripts and, read the script and interpret it and do all that stuff for my job. And our scripts are in PDFs. And every time I open this stupid PDF, it's like, this is a long document. Do you want me to summarize it for you? It's like, no, I do not want your stupid AI summary because I have to read the document with my eyes in order to do my job. Please, heck off. I don't know if I want to open it with my web browser, considering this is sensitive information as well. Maybe if I'm using the one browser I use for work, but I don't know, I feel like I should be able to open a dang PDF on my computer without it yelling at me, you want me to make this stupider for you? No. I want to do my job. You're not saving me time. Because I have to read the words that are in front of me. Oh no, I bet. Ugh. Ugh. Oh no. A view into hell. I know. Just, it's so obnoxious. It really does feel like, hey, do you want me to make you stupider? You idiot? Want me to help you make your life harder for no reason? No. I want you, no, Mr. Bond, I want you to die. Yeah, I am using Windows 11 just because that came with Windows 11 when I got this computer. The person who built it was like, no, you should be fine with Windows 11. So I'm like, okay, I will trust you on that. Because I was using a Mac previously. They are taking us to Jupiter to get more stupider. Why don't you take us to Mars to get more candy bars or whatever the rhyme goes? Yeah, sometime I'll have to try Linux, but that's gonna be a bit of a pain. I had to use Linux. No, actually, it wasn't Linux. What were we using for? I was in a class once. I think this was a class on compositing, and the instructor insisted for our OS that we used Ubuntu. And so we had to boot up Ubuntu every time we did that class because this is like the only class where he's like, no, we have to use Ubuntu. And I did not understand it at all. Yeah, I respect if you can use Linux. I don't know if I have the time to learn it. Oh, it's a flavor of Linux? Okay. I did not understand Ubuntu, but they made us use it for just that one class. And I just did not know where anything was in it. Because that was the only time I've ever used Ubuntu. I don't even know why we needed it for specifically compositing. Might be something involved in that, but I don't know what. Yeah, 11 is forcefully putting AI into the experience. It's harder to ignore. I need to figure out how to get rid of this. I really hate, oh, thank you for following. Hello, hello. Appreciate you being here. But I really is frustrated how often it's like, I want to search my computer for something and it's like, no, you want to search the internet? I'm like, no, I want to search on my computer. The thing that I'm on. Or it's like, here's the news articles of the day. I'm like, no. I don't want you to shove news in my face just because I swiped left too hard. Oh no, security fault. That's a problem. Okay. Got this one done. The rest of that will be clouds. Yeah, if you can send me a way to like turn off that stupid news junk that sends it, Oh, use it for Pride for School. How topical. Go figure. I'm surprised they still have it. I mean, I guess maybe I shouldn't be surprised. It's probably one of those things that's still chugging along. Yeah, that's kind of nice. Thank you for crediting those photographers, at least. I can supposedly, I have the means to boot, a Macintosh OS on this PC because I transferred everything from my Mac, and I asked the person who built my computer, hey, can I boot, Mac PC just in case? Or not Mac PC, but just Mac OS just in case, and I supposedly can, but I haven't tried it. I think it's like Boot Camp or something. There are a couple of programs that I haven't been able to work on here, and I'm just kind of like, they're not super important, so I've kind of ignored them. Like my old lettering program, I think it was like Comic Life 3. It was for Mac. The version I had was for Mac. And I was like, okay, well, the program was cheap. It was like $20. I'll go download a Windows version of it. And they just like didn't have it. It was like stopped existing. So I'm like, well, crap. Okay. I guess I'm not doing that. It was a pretty nice lettering program. Although I've just started doing hand lettering instead. Which works okay for something that's not, professional. ARM processors. Yeah, there are some Mac exclusive apps. I should put on some kind of like screensaver or something. I don't think I have a running screensaver for my computer. It just kind of shuts off when it's idle for too long. Nothing cool. Man, remember the days of like old school screensavers, flying toasters, pipe dream. Nice. I always remember us being mesmerized by like the endless pipes it's making, or that cube that bounces around into a spiky thing and that turns into a ball and then it bounces back into the spiky thing and you're like, whoa. Look at the powers of what the PlayStation graphics can do. Pipes. Pipes. I think we had a really simple, like, galaxy warp one where it's just, like, moving through stars. And you're just like, Smoking hat from the 1930s. Back when they're like, smoking is good for you, kids. Yeah. I feel like there's something like that. Then again, I don't think my oldest Macs had that because our oldest Macs were black and white. We didn't even have a color Mac when I was a kid. It was just plain old black and white Mac. And I played Number Munchers on it. I was all excited to go to this Number Munchers tournament. So I'm like, I'm really good at Number Munchers. I've been practicing. I can do all the, powers of whatever number. Things are going okay as we're working on backgrounds today. And I was so frustrated because I got to this Number Munchers tournament, and I thought I'm going to do so well at the Number Munchers tournament. But the programs I had for Number Munchers only went up to multiples of 12. And I'm playing along, doing really well at multiples of 12, and then it got to multiples of 13, multiples of 14, and 15, and I was like, I don't know multiples past 12, and It sucked. Oh, Vaporeon. For the most part, I enjoyed Violet. I didn't get that many bugs in it. Riku, it's Mickey. Mickey, it's Riku. They put bugs in him. Although I did, like, early on in the game, because it kind of lets you free roam, I think I got stuck at some part where, like, I didn't have the I got stuck on, like, some plateau and I didn't have the means to get off of it because I was still early in the game. And, I just kind of had to wait until I died there because I couldn't fly out. I couldn't scale the cliffs to get back onto regular ground. It wouldn't let me run off the edge of another cliff because it was too steep. And yeah, I was like super stuck on this platform and I'm like, help me, I'm trapped. Yeah, there were a lot of bugs when it first came out, but some good music. I like the end game. My main Pokemon poison of choice is Pokemon Go these days. Yeah, nice to be caught up in that sense. And even though I was contemporary with the earliest Pokemons, I did not play like Red and Green or Red and Blue when they first came out. Didn't get to it until like Gen 3 or 4. Nice. I want to play one of the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon games sometimes. Those look fun. I've not played any of the Mystery Dungeon games. I imagine they're going to remake Black and White eventually. Nope, it can happen. You're like, I'm just coming along with this chapter. It's getting longer. It's getting longer. Oh no! And then before you know it. Yep, I was born in the 80s, so I was at just the right time for Pokemon. And my brothers were big into it, but I was not as much. Not until I got older, ironically. There's a Chocobo's Mystery Dungeon? I'll do the one with Groovile. On the Wii. I know, time starts to get weird and compressed and all this weird and stuff. It also probably doesn't help because like people are like, oh, I played this when I was a kid, blah blah blah. And the thing was, when I was a kid, we didn't really have consoles because my parents did not like them. They didn't like video games. They didn't want us kids playing them very often. So like, even though I technically should be, you know, familiar with like SNES, Sega Genesis, and all that, because I was around the right age when they came out, I just didn't play them because we didn't have them. Like, I think the first one we got was Nintendo 64, and that was because my little brother had a pretty wealthy friend who gave one to him for like a birthday gift. And prior to that, the most we got from, you know, nice console games was, you know, they used to rent out consoles at Blockbuster. So, as a special treat for the kids, we could rent, you know, an N64 and Mario Kart for the weekend. So we only got to play it for that weekend. Yeah, I used to be able to rent whole consoles. But yeah, my parents did not like video games very much, so we didn't have them. Even now, I tried to introduce my my parents to Undertale, and they're still mostly confused and bored. Oh yeah, we rented the games too, but at least our Blockbuster, you could rent the console. So we rented the whole N64 and, you know, copy of Mario Kart for a weekend, and that was a special treat for the kids. Yeah, I think the first time I was exposed to Final Fantasy was Final Fantasy IX at a friend's house, which I played through as much as I could. For the brief amount of time I stayed there, didn't get very far. And the first Final Fantasy I actually played was 10. So I didn't get 6, 7, or 8. And it's time, after I've done this, for me... Oh, we got through a whole page in 1/2 hour. That's good. Mark that off. Time for stretch break. Stretch break. Yeah. Yeah, I think part of the reason why my parents were not big into video games is because, like, my mom technically was old enough to play, like, you know, Pac-Man and Tetris and stuff in arcades, but she wasn't super good at it, and, you know, those arcades are just designed to eat your quarters, basically, to get you to keep playing, and instead of her getting hooked on that, she just got super frustrated and quit because it felt like a waste of money. So... Did not grab her attention. Yeah, we started getting consoles more after the N64. We got like a GameCube and a Wii, or my brothers did mostly. I think I got my... I think my first personal console was PS2. I did play a bunch of games on that. I used it a lot for DDR. I really liked playing DDR on my PS2, and I miss DDR. I miss it. It was a good exercise thing. I used to be pretty decent at DDR, but now I'm way out of shape. I'm way out of practice for it. I tried to do a little bit of DDR at the last at the furry con I went to a couple months ago. And that one was fun because they had a couple extra songs, including Battle Against a True Hero, so I was like, yeah, I get to do an Undertale song, DDR. But I'm still mostly out of shape. Oh, sheesh, what's going on with my neck? No! That's the problem with getting old, is all your body's like, well, this is going to stop working. Were you hoping to use your neck this direction today? Nope. Yeah, we never had any Ataris. And most I would watch, you know, relatives or whatever, friends play the SNES and I think it was the Sega Genesis, yeah. I had a friend who had a Sega Genesis, and I really wanted to watch her play Sonic, but I don't think she cared that much. So she was kind of like, okay, are we done playing Sonic now? And I'm like, can we keep going? Alas, alack. I do remember being, like, super impressed by the graphics for Donkey Kong Country. It's like, whoa, this is like 16-bit, whoa, it looks so good, it looks like 3D. Oh, that's fun. I gotta do more Undertale songs on rhythm games, because they're fun. Well, SNES and Genesis were good consoles for classic RPGs. Ooh, I still need to try Mother 3 at some point on my 2 playlist. I'm so behind. People are like, oh, I'm gonna play all these, you know, AAA games of today. I'm like, I still need to play like 10 million things from, like, all around time. No, never enough time in the day. I guess it was cheaper. Oh man, what a jump it was from the SNES to N64. That was kind of a big deal. I'm glad we had that N64 because we got to play the original Smash Brothers, in which you had 12 characters to choose from and 10 stages. We played that all the time. It was fun playing original Smash Brothers. Although I still think Melee was the real star there of that series. Alright, be right back for a few more stretches. Alrighty, I'm back for more. No, N64 single player was pretty good. But yeah, I really liked Melee. That was, it's probably because, like, you know, grief, I don't remember what age I was, but we had like little tournaments with our friends and stuff. These houses will not survive the stream. True. I want to play more Mario Party. I got that from my brother for Christmas, and I don't know what he did with it. I hope he's playing with it. Nope, these houses will not survive. Oh no, the stick spinning games. Don't give yourself RSI. Don't do it. Yeah, I haven't really played that much Mario Party. You know what? I still haven't played Smash Bros. Ultimate, which is kind of insane. I have a Switch, I should do it. There's Sora on it, I should play it. Oh yeah. Takes all the pain of a board game and puts it into a video game. Hooray! Just like we like. The madness of I hate you while playing Monopoly. Are you using your palms? Yeah, they've had a lot of Mario parties now. And Mario Karts, the new one's coming out. Which, interesting. Palm strats always allowed. You will suffer like I have suffered. No, it's just a Vimeo game. Protect your hands. Protect your precious hands. I do hope though there won't be any strats in new Deltarune chapters that are like, oh, this is going to wreck my hands. I doubt it, but who knows with whatever crazy new mini games we'll be getting in chapter 3. Mario Party versus Mario Karty. Or are there Mario Kart versus Mario Part? The Y is silent. I usually play as Yoshi, just like Asriel, cause Yoshi! You don't get the rest. Mario Part. You're halfway through world like 3, 2, and it's like, you're done. You only get one Mario Part. Still think it'd be very funny if everybody's going off on like, you know, oh, Woody's going to be the secret boss of chapter 3. No, you fools, it was Yoshi the whole time. Trade with your friends to unlock all the Mario parts. It's like Johnny Long Torso. He's sold separately. Act now and you'll unlock Johnny's perfect ears. Turbo Pack Johnny's thighs. To spread to all the other games. I'm not sure why I always started doing that. I was kind of always, I'm like, nope, I'm picking Yoshi. Like, Yoshi is my main for Smash. Again, just like Azzy. So I was happy to hear that. And, it was always my main for Mario Kart, even though I knew, there's probably better ones for that. And then usually my secondary one would be Bowser, but I'm not very good at playing Bowser as like a heavy tank, so Yoshi's still my preferred one. Yeah, that was always my main for Mario Kart and Smash Brothers. Probably the same for Mario Party. Yeah, he's got pretty good handling in Mario Kart. Plus, I just like, I don't know, I prefer Yoshi's flutter kick in Smash Brothers to, like, a B-up third kick. Like most fighters, I think, in the Smash Brothers have, like, a, you know, one kick, 1 up, 2 up, and then you use B-up for, which is also an attack, and that's your third up. And Yoshi's B-up is not really that kind of attack, but his second jump is very significant. Yeah, exactly. It's like I'm already a human being in my day-to-day. I want to be a cute little dinosaur or other cool thing in the video game. Let me be a cute little aminal. Already will have to be fighting my brother who's always like chic or something like that. And just wreck me. Yeah, we finally get party members. I'm not sure if we're going to get any other party members aside from Noelle, though. That's a question. Like, it might be cool if they got Caddy and Jockington, but they might just be antagonists, rather, like Birdly, rather than party members. Species swap. Just like Chris. Chris wishes they could species swap, too. It's like, Chris, understandable, but also learn to love yourself. You are worthy of love too. Pretty sure I might have been able to copy paste this from the previous one, but oh well, we're drawing it. Might be a different size, I can't remember. Poor Chris. They're going through all this stuff and feeling weird in their town. Well, no, I can't imagine that if Toby had gone with his original plan of everybody in Hometown being human after, you know, we see them as monsters in Undertale, we'd be like, no, put them back! Who are you people? Yeah, that part's repeated over there. Is there anything I can I copy paste some stuff? So we don't have to draw it over and over. Let's see if I can't copy paste this. Save ourselves some time. Humetown. Welcome to Humantown. Why is it called that? I don't know. We're just saying that's a weird name for a town if everybody here's human. I know, we're just calling it that. We can copy part of this, but do the rest ourselves. Welcome to Humantown, also known as Chicago. Okay, is there any other places we can copy this from? And save ourselves a little time. No, I don't think so. Well, maybe we can copy that one something later. So yeah, who named it Hometown in the first place? Was that Ascor? Is that Ascor's fault again? Oh, sheesh, that's a long time to grind. That is a long grind there. That kind of sucks though when you're like, oh, I'm gonna do completionist on this, and then you're getting to it and it's like, oh no, the intrinsic fun is wearing off. Also, hello, thank you for coming. There's a lot of destroyed buildings today. We gotta draw the destroyed buildings so we can draw the cool monsters that are destroying them. Having themselves a little buffet. Yeah, I've never played any of the Yakuza games. There's a bunch of series I haven't touched. I've never played God of War. Never played Assassin's Creed. What else is big? Never played Fallout. Never played, No, yeah. I'll tell you what, when I was, trying to grind out, I think I was trying to get platinum trophies in, Chain of Memories remake, and yeah, I would just put on like a long YouTube playlist, because at least for one of the things to do, it was like reach level 99 for both Riku and Sora in Chain of Memories, and that takes a really, really long time. Oh yeah, the new materials are not fun to get. I really did not like having to farm sniper wilds. It was probably my least favorite. Actually, I don't know, maybe it was my least favorite That was my least favorite, like a thing to grind out in Final Mix. And I know I couldn't get through a lot of Final Mix's stuff because I can't get in 2 because I can't get past the stupid data battles. Voltorb, Slip, and Soul Silver. I know, Sniper Wilds, ah! Yeah, so, some of the stuff you have to grind out for all the trophies and Chain of Memories is kind of ridiculous. Like, why do we have to get them to level 99? It takes so long. It took me a long time to get good at that. I realized, oh, you have to, like, actually make decent slights in order to, like, blast through enemies and stuff like that. And even then... Ooh, yeah, level 1's would be pretty hard. Even then, the battle does get kind of repetitive because you just have to, like, go in to, like, all these different, you know, rooms, hit an enemy, and then use the same slides that will go through all the same animations as usual. Hope you get some really good cards and stuff. I'm pretty sure, like, you know, Mega Elixirs and all that stuff are only, like, Room of Rewards cards in certain areas. Yep, Lethal Frame, a lot of that. Marluxia is a pain. Pain in the butt. A lot of Lethal Frame, and then as soon as, like, you know, they slap down a slight, you gotta flip around to a 0 and slap that down to counter it. Yeah, Ursula was a pain in the butt, too. And I feel like there's all the stuff I wanted to do in 3 regarding the gummy ship, and I never got to it. Like a dragon. Also, some of the really frustrating things in Chain of Memory, at least for Riku's side, is like, okay, Sora, you can, you know, choose your, you know, your cards and build a deck that you like. Whereas if you're playing Riku's side, his deck is chosen for you, and some of the worlds just have really crappy decks. Why is, like, Wonderland's deck so bad for Riku? It was so bad. Like, a whole lot of... Like, there was enemies in that world that were, you know, throwing down 6s and 7s, and your deck is full of, like, 1, 2s, and 3s. The SS Toby. Yeah, I still haven't played the extra stuff. And apparently, in regards to Kingdom Hearts, was it Missing Link got canceled? Which, honestly, I hadn't looked into it much, but apparently it was going to be like a live service gacha game kind of thing. And I'm like, considering Squeenix's track record with live service games, probably a really good thing that, you know, this died, like, before it got off the ground. Because Squeenix has a habit of, like, we've started a new live service game. Oops, it's dead. Hope there wasn't important lore you needed in that. So, please none of that. It got your money, exactly. Pokemon Go is the farthest I'll go for that. I saw the screenshots and, yeah. Oh no, currently lost media. I saw the screenshots for 4. And I'm like, this looks lovely, but where's my Disney characters? I'm not interested in this. This is just like, if I wanted to play this, I'll go play FF15 or whatever. Or 16. This doesn't look like Kingdom Hearts. I want my cartoonies. I don't know. I haven't seen anything from 4 yet that's like, yes, 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 I need to play 4 right away. I'm desperate for 4. I'm like, this doesn't look like Sora. I don't know who any of these people are. I want my Mickey Mouse. Well, I guess it was Mickey Mouse. I want Pluto and, I don't know, Baloo the bear and whatever random obscure Disney stuff going on. It's not Sora, it's Fora. I know, where's my boy's clown shoes? What have you done to my boy? Where are his stupid zippers? Don't play 15 instead. Oh no, he probably will, won't he? I know he's upset about not being able to get, you know, a lot of stuff that was in 15 in there, so. Oh no. It's gonna be in that, because people will let him do it in that. I'm like, Nomura, I know it sucks, but please, sir, can I have a Disney movie? Yeah, I haven't played 15 yet. I think the last one I played was 13, and that was vanilla 13. I haven't played like 13-2 or Lightning Returns or anything. No, I know we only have live action remakes. No. 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 Oh my goodness. What if they did? Here's that movie, but now it's live action. I'm like, you mean now it's worse? Is that what we're gonna have now? Live action Beauty and the Beast? Live action Lilo and friggin' Stitch? Oh my goodness. Literally, I don't think they would do that, but literally if they did that, if they're like, here's the live action versions, I'd be like, no. I'm swearing you off, Kingdom Hearts. I'm mad now. I don't want Star Wars either. Star Wars is too big. It's too big. Kingdom Hearts is already its own Star Wars. You don't need to put a Star Wars, like, that's too big. It's too much. Hyper-realistic Lion King. No, I hate it. I hate it so much. Star Wars already got its own expanded universe. Kingdom Hearts is its own expanded universe. I don't want Star Wars. I don't want Marvel. Yeah, like barely any other Square stuff going on. It was cool to get like Tweety characters, but that's all we've gotten. Yeah, Princess, like, again, I want regular stuff. I want Princess and the Frog. I would pick up 4 if they had Atlantis in it, Treasure Planet, like something a bit more obscure. Something really fun. We already had Frozen and stuff like that, and Tangled, so we have some more recent things. It's not a matter of, like, thematically. It's a matter of Star Wars. The Star Wars universe is so massive, and the Kingdom Hearts universe is already so massive that I don't think you can mix those without, like, them just being really watered down. It's already too, like, Kingdom Hearts is already a Star Wars. It is already a Star Wars. And that, like, I don't know. I just don't think it would work. Yeah, I want more obscure Disney references. I don't want Disney properties. Kingdom Hearts universe with Andor. Devastating. Oh my goodness. I need to watch season 2. Andor was really good. Yeah, I don't want it watered down. I don't think it would be good for either of them. It's a lot easier to water down, you know, like, say, you know, Mulan or Sleeping Beauty. Very simple stories from massive, sprawling, intergalactic universe. With, like, you know, hundreds of years of history. Yeah, I gotta watch season 2. Yeah, I don't know how well thematically Kingdom Hearts, you know, friendship and light will save the day. We'll deal with, you know, Andor's universe of pretty like hard-hitting political commentary. I mean, could be fascinating, but I don't know. I would just prefer those to be separate takes. The horrors of war and imperialism, the banality of bureaucracy, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, you could do some other Pixar stuff. I see Cars Sora looming on the horizon. There he is, just waiting to get you. Cars Sora, he's coming for you. Cars Sora, he's coming for you. Watch out, monkey's paw curls. Or, you know, Inside Out Sora. Sora's like, I'm the Sora emotion. Oh. I should put Ghost Trick in Kingdom Hearts. It's not a Disney property. I just think they should be. It'd be funny. True. I think they should put Ghost Trick in things just because it's Ghost Trick. I just think they should have Ghost Trick in more things. I recently saw that meme that's been going around where, you know, Sissel is like, hey guys, and somebody says, cishet! Not what I'm called. That's a good take on that. Yeah, I don't mind Ratatouille world. More cooking. More things do need missile in them. Let's do some ghost tricks. Yeah, let's do some Hue-framed Roger Rabbit. There's a good option. That would be fun. They probably can't because of like get ready for licensing to get even more complicated. Like, can Warner Brothers? Can we put your Warner Brothers character into our, you know, Disney and Square Enix game? Meanwhile, David Zaslav over here is like, I don't care. I hate animation. Die. We'll take that as a no. Yeah, exactly. I love the smaller stuff. I love the smaller, obscure things. I don't want giant... It's kind of like the same thing as, like, what they're doing with the parks. Yeah, like Wind in the Willows, that's neat. Some of the other, like, I don't know, Three Caballeros. Let's see Jose in there. See some more Twee-Wee. Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing the Twee-Wee characters come back. They only were showing up for one game. I don't know, what's this another smaller Squeenix property? You could do, this have to be something in the Nomura design, though. And there are some other things. There are some things they probably should not touch, like, please don't put any Song of the South in there, it's not going to be good. The Lizzie McGuire movie. Man, okay, remember when, like, way back in the day, they were like, and here's one of the new worlds that's going to be in 300, it's going to be in days, and it was High School Musical. This was a fake leak. It's like Luxord's dancing in High School Musical. It was a really good leak, a really good fake leak. It was really funny. Yeah, we do need Princess and the Frog at least. That would be a really good one. Classic Square. It was really funny. Yeah, you do Chrono Trigger. We're getting so many, like, original characters and all that. It's like, I'm sorry, Nomura, I can't keep up with all these guys. Well, I could probably tell you about anything is in it, and, you know, that might be correct. Okay, how about a Zootopia world? We need a Zootopia world. Oh boy, Frozen 2. We're going to sing Let It Go, just Goofy is here. It's the exact same, just, you know. Also, our friends are here. Encanto? That could be interesting, yeah. Could do Encanto. Oh, I gotta stop for my stretch break soon. Some other classic Pixar ones. Bug's Life, get Bugsora. Yeah, I can see Encanto working well as a TV series. There's a couple things that should have been a TV series. They should have made Raya and the Last Dragon a TV series. That would have been better as a series. It was not. There's not enough time for that in a movie. Yeah, it was just, they were kind of awkwardly there. And it's really frustrating because you can tell that, like, Elsa was kind of supposed to be the antagonist. And then Disney was like, no, you can't make one of our princesses the antagonist of the world. And we're going to make you change that, which is why we have Larzine creating, like, a giant ice palace out of electricity. It doesn't make any sense. That's not her power. She's electric type. She's not ice type. Oh, I really liked the Tangled series. The Tangled series was really good. It feels like Tangled series would be like, that would be a difficult movie to build off of, but I think they did a really good job building off of it with some new characters and new ideas. Some really nice animation styles in that show too. I do recommend that. That's good. Yeah, there's plenty of opportunities. Yeah, this ability never comes up again. This is clearly supposed to be something that Elsa did, because Elsa would, you know, have that kind of ability. We already know she can make an ice palace. Why is Larzine making an ice palace? With electricity, it does not make sense. This one I was like, huh? Larzine did this? No, she didn't. Elsa did this. Come on. Be serious. The final boss battle in Frozen was cool, though. I like that giant wolf thing. That was neat. I like that. Just when you think you've Larzine it all. Wah, wah, wah. I know, it doesn't make sense. It was supposed to be Elsa. Disney's like, no, you can't make the princess that the kids meet in the parks to be a bad guy. I'm like, but it makes more sense that way. Please. I don't know how they hand wave Larzine, but it's just like she's using electricity to control ice. It really does not make sense. She's just, because we already have an organization member that controls ice. It's, you know, Vexen. Larzine's deal with electricity. Those two don't really have anything to do with each other. She should not be able to create this elaborate ice palace full of traps out of electricity. Yeah, she is an antagonist, but, like, she is way less of an antagonist than I think she was originally going to be. She was, like, supposed to be kind of closer to the original fairy tale, way more, like, mean, kind of scary looking. It is a weird movie to look back on. Good grief, that was such a big deal. And that kind of a weird spot in Disney history where they're, you know, there's this sense of, oh, we have to, you know, sell the toy stuff to little girls, sell the princess stuff, but also, like, we're super aware that, you know, we shouldn't be doing this because it's kind of bad for kids. So, oh, haha, we're self-aware. Look at this princess. He's gonna marry somebody. We're gonna critique our company. Also, please keep giving us money. It's just, it's odd. There's a lot of that. Haha, Disney's critiquing itself around that time. And I know at the time I think we bought into it. Now with some hindsight, it's kind of like, okay, but that doesn't actually solve any problems, Disney. You still want our money. And that's fine, but, you know, please at least be sincere. I think what people have stopped liking about that kind of, you know, tongue-in-cheek sort of thing, or twist villains or whatever, is this lack of sincerity about it. This ironic detachment is tiring. Definitely, as I've gotten older, I care less about irony, and I find sincerity to be more appealing. I think there's this, I don't know, maybe it's still around, maybe it's not, this concept, at least in marketing circles, of, like, it's too cringe to be sincere, you have to be ironic. People like that. Exactly. Maybe you don't need to appeal to the cynical film nerds who are like, but this doesn't rationalize with this. Who cares? Who cares what they think? Be sincere and cheesy. It's good for you. Ugh. Alright, I will be right back with some more stretches. I need to get my orange juice. some orange juice. Ugh. Yeah, when I saw with live action Beauty and the Beast, it's like, our critiques are like Stockholm Syndrome, and Belle's not feminist enough. And the Beast was too young when all this happened. I'm like, it's a fairy tale, guys. It's a fairy tale. Please just... You don't have to solve every problem with it. Please just let it be. I really liked Beauty and the Beast when it first came out. I was just the right age for it. Absolutely blew my mind with that gorgeous James Baxter animation and the ballroom scene. Yeah, Lindsay Ellis has a good video on that. I love the original, so I don't think I could bear live-action remakes. Which is why if they tried to do live-action remakes nonsense in Kingdom Hearts, I would probably just be like, I'm done. Goodbye, Nomura. Okay. Page done. Oh, well, we can double up on this one. I think we're almost done with part 6's backgrounds. These part 6 and 7 aren't very long. I know, I hate it. Oh, I hate it so much. I hate it so much. Yeah, I hope he's not going to include that. I just hope it's not Disney's like, you need to include the newest ones to, like, you know, advertise them. Yeah, I refuse to see live action Lion King. I refuse. Because Lion King is still my favorite Disney movie. That movie is a special place in my heart. I cannot bear this soulless... I don't know, again, not even live action. It's still just animated. But we animate it in a way where we don't have to pay union dues. And it looks not as good as a result. Look at our fur glow. Which is why if they go forward, they better not. They do not go forward with that live action Bambi. I really hope live action Snow White just killed it. Please just kill that whole idea. Please spare Bambi. I know I've gone off on this in chat before. It makes me so mad the thought of like live action Bambi. It makes me so angry. Yes, it is. In fact, art here in the stream. I know, like, oh, I'd be so mad. Because, like, yeah, the scene where, like, Mufasa dies, that was, like, a big deal when I was a kid. I cried at that scene. I was like, it was devastating when you were a kid. Absolutely devastating. Killed live action Tangled. Good. Why are we making live action remakes of things that are barely a decade old? Stop it. It is boring. Less live action remakes of Disney movies, more animated remakes of live action movies. Including the weird ones. No, spare Bambi! Dang it, no! Bambi! I'm gonna go off again. Leave Bambi alone. Bambi is a beautiful movie that you could not sell to today's crowds because there's not really much of a story to it. It's mostly kind of an animated portrait of a forest and a deer's life in it. And that's all it needs to be. It doesn't need all this, tense live action stuff. Like, here's, 5 minutes of rain falling on a forest. And it looks beautiful because of the way it's painted. And they couldn't do that today because, the kids are going to be bored. If there's 5 minutes of rain falling in a forest and animals, hiding from rain, we gotta do something here. Yeah, we have this moment of grief in Lion King, whereas in Bambi, it's not quite as devastating. just because we don't linger on it very long. It's clearly sad, and you have this weird emotion about it, but we've established more of a connection with Mufasa. Yeah, that's why I loved Flo. Oh my goodness. I cried at Flo. So I saw Flo with some friends. I'm like, this movie was like made for me. What a balm. And like, you know, these times of, oh, we got to do this and that, you know, or the kids will get bored sort of stuff. What a balm Flo was. I'm just like, nope, here's the story of these animals. You don't know what they're you don't know what they're saying because they don't talk. They're just animals, but you can still tell how they feel. Just, this is how you feel in this movie. And I really liked Flo. I don't even care. It's like, okay, yeah, this looks like a, you know, video game cutscene because of the technology made in Blender. It's insane. I love Flo. Yeah, I was not expecting it to win the Oscar. I was like, holy crap. Latvia was so proud of that. I think that's really cute. They're like, yay, our movie won us our first Oscar. I'm like, good job, Latvia. You deserve it. Flo was really good. Yeah, I know. By the end of Flo, I was just bawling. Maybe not bawling, but I was definitely crying. There's something about it just hit home. Yeah. I do appreciate this boom that indie animation is having. Like, you know, we've got great stuff out, like, you know, Digital Circus and Lackadaisy and Mystery Skulls and Murder Drones and all that stuff. And I'm excited for Knights of Guinevere. That looks really interesting. But at the same time, we can't depend on indie animation because as somebody who works in animation, that stuff is expensive and time-consuming to produce. It takes so much time and money. It's really, really hard to do that on an indie budget. It's really hard. So you can't depend on that. You need to have some big budget stuff too. You need to have some corpos that are willing to dump large amounts of money into something that's not necessarily marketable, and that's really hard. Like, just in terms of, like, you know, jobs for me. Oh, wait, I think I put that in the wrong layer. I did. Shoot. Okay, I'll move this to another layer down. I can move that. So there is indie stuff that's taking off, and I'm super glad about that. I'm very glad there's indie stuff, but I don't think it's wise to be like, the indie scene will save us for animation or video games. You need a healthy mix of everything. You need some big budget things, and you need a lot of like mid-tier things, and then you need a lot of like, you know, small budget things. You need things with like budget and backing across the spectrum in order for the industry to be healthy. And the way that it is right now, where basically you either have to have, like, you know, everything is either indie or like it has to be this giant mega hit, you know, bajillion dollar blowout thing. Not healthy. Not healthy. It's not a good means of investment in talent or the art. Well, that is part of the problem. Is like, it's not so much corp interference. It's like that's the person that pays you. That is the person that pays you. It's just like, you know, if I'm you know, doing a commission for somebody, and they want me to draw, you know, this one character, I can't really say, no, I think the character should look like this instead. Unless they give me that freedom to do so. They're going to be like, I'm the one paying for it. Draw the character the way I want. So the corpos are doing that on a much bigger scale. And that part is very frustrating, but there's not much you can do about it. Because, you know, instead of, you know, corps or finances being like, hey, we'll give you, you know, the money and help you market it and distribute it, and you be the one to, you know, control the creative side of it because that's your job and we trust you. There's usually at least somebody involved who's like, well, I want to make a creative decision. I want it to be this way because I say so. And they're not a creative person. They don't really understand, you know, the process of doing stories or art or how marketing works, sort of things. Don't want the risk involved in it, the, you know, vulnerability of creating art, and in turn you make something that's not as good, not as good at best, and actively awful at worst. And you kind of have to, because again, that's the person that's paying you. All right, have a good lunch. In an ideal world, basically, you have a situation where, you know, the person with the money is like, I want you to make this. And you'd be like, okay, I'm going to do it this way. Here's the way I'm going to do it. And the person with the money is like, okay, I trust that, you know, your skill as an artist, as a storyteller, will, you know, be close enough to what I want and, you know, make me some money in the process, you know, give a return on my investment. And then you, the artist, get to, you know, do stuff. But oftentimes that's not exactly what happens. Because again, the whole deal with art is that art can potentially make a lot of money, but good art is always risky and vulnerable. And people that control money and have investments, they do not like risk or vulnerability. That's bad if you have money. Good if you're making good art, bad if you have money. And therein lies the clash, the difficulty. And it is a rare thing where you get to have those properly work together. So appreciate them while they're here. Sorry, I could go off on a lot of things. It's also equally frustrating just as somebody who works in animation and like seeing people who have not worked in animation assuming they know how it works and what's involved and like how long things take. And I'm like, no, your estimates are wrong. Things actually take a lot longer than you think they do. And the nicer you want it to look, the more time it's going to take. Yeah, things just take a really long time. However long you think it would take, it's longer. Like, usually, you know, I'm towards the beginning of the production process because I do storyboards, hence why I have Storyboard Pro. Usually the storyboards that I'm drawing do not become an episode that I can watch until probably anywhere from 12 to 15 months later. So over a year. However big you think a wolf is, double that, true. So when everybody's like, oh, you know, this person, you know, this episode is responding to something the fans did, you know, recently. It's like, no, it's not. We literally did this a year ago. And again, I'm towards the start. I'm not even the script writers. The script writers finished their scripts like a couple months before I did. A couple months before I got to my part. So, in terms of just what's written, the episode was probably written about, you know, 18 months or so before it actually is finished. And that's a generous thing. It could be longer. So, however long you think it takes, it's long. It takes a while. Just like these ending parts for Eldritchrune. When will these be posted? When they're all done, I guess. It's looming over, like, why did I do a 20-part ending? Good grief. Yeah, Arcane's animation is insane. Insane amount of production quality. And from what I understand, those boards, like, because they're so action heavy, I don't know, I'm pretty sure they spent like 3 months per board or something on it. No, yeah, no, AI cannot. AI could never. You wish. No, it's not sustainable. Like, that is an unusual... Arcane is an outlier, I think, in terms of production quality. You have to really dedicate a lot of time to that, and you can't keep that up on a, let's do this for, 20, 50 episodes. I don't know, although the show that I'm working on now, I think, is pretty high quality. From what I've seen of the, we're finally getting finished shots. And, this is a preschool show. It's a show for little kids. But I'm like, this is pretty high quality stuff. Like, the lighting looks really nice, the surfacing and all the music stuff. So it's looking pretty good. I'm pretty happy with the final product for the show that I'm working on. I think it looks cute for preschool show. So if you have any preschool age, siblings or nibblings, they might like it. Should be coming out this year, so I'm not sure exactly when, but probably soon, because we're getting close to finishing our time, or at least I'm getting close to finishing my time on this season, which is crazy to think about. But yeah, even a preschool show takes so much time and effort. If you want it to look nice. Yeah. Yeah, that might be part of the problem with Spider-Verse, is like a really important part of animation that I think, especially if you are somebody who's coming from live action, does not realize, is you want things locked as tightly as you can before you start animating them and doing all that polish and stuff like that. You really want to know exactly what you're doing, because if they are not locked before you start animating, you have wasted a ton of time, and you're going to have to go back and do all these changes and stuff like that. Like, you want things as clean and clear as possible in, like, the stage I'm doing it, so that the animators and everybody further down the pipe knows exactly what they're doing and, how to do it, how they're going to plus it up and all that other stuff. Because it's not like, a live action movie where it's like, oh, we're at this stage of the movie, we realized, oh, we really need this kind of scene. Well, we'll just call the actors back, for another, day of reshoots and stuff. Or we'll call them in for some ADR, etc., etc. It's easier to make some edits to live action stuff than it is to animation, whereas, like, if something is not working in animation and you don't realize that until the animation stage, you're in trouble. Oh, yay! I hope they liked the MLP movie. I really enjoyed working on the MLP movie. That was probably my favorite thing to work on. We had a really good team. It was fun. Got to be a bit more creative than we usually do on a show. So, hope they enjoyed the movie. Wish we had gotten to do a little bit more with that, but that's what we got. No, you can't do that. You can't fully animate. Like, you have to know it in, like, the storyboard phase, what you're revising. You can't have it animated before it, and, like, composited and all that stuff before you revise it. You can't do that. It's such a waste of time. That hurts. You can't do that. That's what the storyboard phase is for, is so that you can look at it and be like, okay, this is not working. Let's edit it. You have to do that now when you're drawing something that's much easier to fix than afterwards. Like, yeah, that hurts. Please, don't direct that way. And sometimes you can't help that, because sometimes the client doesn't realize there's a problem with that until, like, later down the line. But that's kind of first season woes anyway, at least in regards to a show. First season woes. Yeah, it's kind of like that same thing of, like, I don't know, when, like, celebrities think, oh, I can write a children's book. How hard can that be? Y'all, it's actually difficult to write children's literature. You can't just be like, oh, this is easy, it's for kids, I don't have to think about that. You actually do have to think about how to make, like, thinking about how to make stuff for kids actually takes work. Because, like, kids process things differently, they have different vocabulary. I do not want to see the AI-generated books because they're going to be bad. They are going to be bad. You have to actually think about this. Like, okay, what sentence structure can I use? There is no easy work. True. There is no easy work. There is no unskilled labor. There is only undervalued labor. And if you try and think there's, oh, I can do this the easy way, it won't work. You have to love the work. Oh, yep, don't worry. I can save right now. Bloop. And I usually save every half hour when I take my stretch break. Plus, I believe, Storyboard Pro has an autosave feature. Usually, sometimes it pops up. Oh, right. Doodle stream request. Shoot, okay, that's in a different program, so, give me a second. I'm gonna have to find that. Where are you? Mossy Papyrus. What was the okay, yeah, the Mossy Papyrus. Okay, sorry. I totally forgot about that, so let me go find my thing for that. I think it's the Stream Doodle page. Open up Photoshop. Yes, that's what the channel points are for. Let's try and open it. Let's try and... Please. Hello? What are you doing there? Okay. Alright, Mossy Papyrus. Oh. Now I'm going to get confused as to what my hotkeys are. Yeah, a little simmered back there. Oops, why am I on like a... Oh, because my thing is wrong. That's why. Simmered is my background. Why are they mossy? I don't know. Yeah, I do have a 5 per limit stream. So, if you want one... I look like Marge Simpson here, I'm sorry. That's nothing. Maybe on the TV world in Chapter 3 will be being the symptoms. Until they turn into the Power Rangers. I don't know if that's a very good Mossy Papyrus, but we're doing our best. This is his moss body, as opposed to his battle body. Yeah, that is pretty funny though. Okay, Mossy Papyrus, there we go. Added to the doodle pile. Back to what we were doing. Yes, if you want to add something to the doodle page, that is available for art streams. Yeah, I love the fact that apparently, like, Alfie's in Deltarune is, like, not as big into anime, but she is into, like, Western media. And she's a Simpsons head, or whatever the term is for a Simpsons fan. Her evil clone, no! Undyne, are the symptoms real? What? Are they real? The symptoms are real, right? Also, since I saw this brought up again recently, I hope that we do get to see Toby's dream Garfield in Chapter 3. Like, his Garfield shows up, but it's the dream Garfield where he has, like, a big Spamkin nose. Yeah, Undertale's outfits might like the symptoms. Then again, they probably don't exist because it seems like the symptoms are like, what if the Simpsons was a monster family? It seems like they make like TV and stuff for both humans and monsters. Yeah, what are her off-brand symptoms quotes? Wait a minute. There's something bothering me about this place. I know! This monster bar doesn't have a fire exit! Enjoy your death trap, ladies! What was her problem? But that was the best Simpsons joke. I love that one. Somebody has a monster bad fur day mishap. This is the worst fur day of my life. The worst bad fur day of your life so far. Yeah, what's going on with the symptoms? Tell us more about that, Toby. Show us the symptoms. Forget Woody from Toy Story. Show us your symptoms in the dream Garfield. Show us weird PBS Garfield. Oh, yeah, I've never played Conker's Bad Fur Day. But it does seem like it has some kind of those, like, Nintendo hard kind of parts where I would struggle. Considering those parts where I sucked at Psychonauts. And I'm like, I can't get up the circus nuts. Help me. I still need to play Psychonauts 2 at some point. I've got a lot of stuff to tackle. Once we're done with Okami, which I'll probably will finish next week. And then maybe we'll do an art stream the Friday before Deltarune's out. Because I probably won't be doing an art stream that Friday because I will be busy with some other stuff. Like replaying chapters 3 and 4. Also, what did Conker's Bad Fur Day come out? Isn't that like on a... Was that an N64 game or a GameCube game? I don't remember. Maybe it's a PlayStation one. N64. The only thing I know about Conker's Bad Fur Day is that, you know, it was supposed to be kind of crass and there was the mighty poo and you fight a giant pile of poo. I know, it comes out on a Wednesday. Yeah, it's supposed to be pretty crude. Which, my tolerance for that may or may not be high. It's not like, ew, my poor delicate sensibilities. It's kind of more like a, okay, really? Sort of thing. Not comfortable. I said I didn't think so. I don't know, I feel like when I was, like, in college and stuff, I was like, oh yeah, Family Guy's hilarious. And now that I'm older, I'm like, okay. We were more a Simpsons family than a Family Guy family, and I think Simpsons held up a little better. And my mom was shocked. Yeah, that probably not a 4 kids thing. That's why you pay attention to the labels, please. Don't be like, oh, it's animated, it's great for kids. Watership Down, it's got bunnies on it. Plague Dogs, my kids will love that. Especially when, like, you as, like, a person who knows animation, like, no, okay, no, they're not gonna like that. Happy Tree Friends. So child appropriate. Whee! I think I might need to take my next stretch break now. Yeah, it's time for my next stretch break. Which is cool because we just finished this page. Woo! We're blazing through these. I think we only have one more for this part. Okay. Yeah, I did grow up with that. Well, even then, I was not a child, so I was okay with it. But it was pretty bad. Oh, that's frustrating. I don't like that mechanic of, and then if you die, you start from the beginning. Like, ugh. I do remember a lot of early internet stuff, and a lot of it was just like, yep, here's the stuff that's not appropriate for kids. It's out in the open. We're not hiding it. There's no tags. Deal with it. And this, like, the humor was a lot, not necessarily so good. Not necessarily so good humor. Like, okay, thanks. Just what I wanted. Well, also, especially, like, I feel like there's a big difference between, like, fictional violence, cartoon violence, and, like, actual violence. Like, if I'm watching, a movie and there's, a big old car chase and explosions and stuff like that, I'm like, oh, that's super cool. Like, I'm having a good time. But, like, if I pass, like, a really bad accident on the freeway in real life, like, I don't think, wow, that's super cool. Like, my insides knot up and recoil. I feel horrible. There's, I don't know, there is a big difference between actual violence and fantasy violence. Huh. And I think they succeeded if that was their goal. And I guess there's a space for that. Like, sometimes you do want to have, a franchise that's just like, this is just, raunchy, inappropriate humor. Like, the humor is, be as crude as possible. I don't think that's one that super appeals to me a lot, but, some people, they really like that. It was already being derided for the same. And then, I'm like, well, too bad now. If you can't win through being famous, you can win through being infamous. And even then, yeah, I don't know much about the game itself because I never played it. All I know is that it's very crude and the giant poo battle. Because he sings a big song while you're fighting a giant thing of poo. I don't know, I know there's definitely a point in your life when, like, toilet humor is, like, a big deal to you, but there's probably a reason why it doesn't really resonate a lot with adults. It's kind of like, okay, yeah, it's toilet humor, okay. But the reason why toilet humor is so exciting to kids is because, part of what you find funny is stuff that's taboo, and when you're a kid, stuff that's like party humor, like toilet humor and farts and gross things are considered taboo. Like you're like, that's, you're not supposed to do anything with that. That's gross. So that's like, oh, that makes it fascinating when you're a kid. Like, that's cool. That's fun. Yeah. Like, it makes sense for kids because that is taboo for them. It's cool. It's funny. Like, because the adults don't like it, that's why you like it as a kid. But as an adult, you're like, this is tiring. I don't like it. Oh, yeah, that's not very fun. Like, on the one hand, there's like, okay, you know, fantasy violence is fun. On the other hand, there's like, there's this underpinning of like, oh, haha, the joke is that we're hurting vulnerable populations. It's like, well, that's not a very funny joke. For some reason, that particular thing reminds me of like this animated short I saw once. I think somebody here linked it. It was very crude humor. Can't remember what that was about or who made it. Yeah, it can be a lot. That's a really difficult line of humor to walk, I feel like. That spot of humor where it's like, okay, you're doing like really crass, crude humor, you know, doing nasty things to people, and keeping that funny in a way where it's like the nasty things you're doing are to like vulnerable people. Like that's really difficult to get your way around that in a way that's like funny without being like tiring. Like, really? It's hard to do. Alright, I'll be right back for a few more stretches. Return for more backgrounds and more orange juice. Man, just thinking in conjunction of like, you know, jokes that are funny to kids because they are offensive to adults. Thinking about the very weird position of like, hello, thank you for coming. Maybe I shouldn't launch into my next topic because it's a little heavy. But I was, thinking of like things that are really funny to kids because they are serious to adults. And just thinking of like this very weird phenomenon that I would not have guessed happened was of like 9/11 humor. Because like, as an adult, I lived through that. And it was a deeply unfunny, very, very serious topic. But then you've got, like, nowadays you have, like, little kids who did not live through that, you know, have no real, like, context for it except for the world they live in. And all they know is that, like, you know, this is deeply upsetting to adults, so it becomes funny to them. And I can't be like, oh, I'm mad at you, how dare you think it's funny, because, like, their life experience is different. I'm just like, that's very weird that, like, getting to these kids that did not experience it, it's funny because for the adults it's serious and that's considered a taboo subject. And if something is taboo to adults, and as a kid you're like, well, I can find it funny. Oh yeah, that's a whole separate thing. That's a whole separate thing. That's not. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I would. Yeah, I wouldn't want to put those together. That sense is less like oh, it's funny as so much as like, okay, please do read a history book. Yeah, it gets complicated. Probably shouldn't have brought up that subject, but let's take the punch out of it. I don't think kids in the comments are committing war crimes. I think they're doing something that kids are wont to do, which is, again, they see something that is deeply serious and unfunny to an adult, and because of that, they're like, oh, I can get a big reaction out of an adult by treating this serious thing as funny. So, I don't think really maliciousness is like intended, at least no more than like kids are normally malicious, you know? Yeah. I don't see those jokes as often anymore though. Yeah. Like, I don't want to like reprimand kids, but it's also like I'm sorry, I am not in a position, it's deeply unfunny. Yeah, you just don't get the gravity of it. It's like I because of my lived experience, like it can't be funny. It's unfunny. Yeah, there's like this sense of absurdity to it. I don't know. It's just a weird phenomenon. I kind of wonder how often that's happened with like other things in the past. I don't know. Like if you were an adult who like say experienced the Titanic, you know, sinking, and that was a deeply serious, you know, traumatic event, and then like one generation later, you know, kids who didn't do that, were they like making Titanic jokes back then and upsetting the adults because they knew that like, you know, the adults were deeply upset about this thing, and so they could get a rise out of them by like talking about the Titanic in a joking way? I know, I'm really curious now. Yeah, what will the future of kid jokes be? If there's anything we know about kids, again, it's like it's fun to get a rise out of adults. I'm sure there'll be COVID jokes. Yeah. I don't know, like a big I don't know, something like a pandemic. It's a pretty big deal. I think that'll be remembered. I guess that's a normal part of life. Today's traumatic events are tomorrow's jokes for kids. I don't know how to feel about that. Ugh. Then again, I guess what will happen is, you know, the same thing will happen to those kids. You know, we can't get too mad at those kids because, you know, they'll be making those jokes, and then, you know, something deeply unfunny and serious will happen to them, and then their kids will joke about it, and they'll have to deal with it, and the cycle will continue on. Which ones? Take your pick. There's always horrors for the kids to joke about. It's true. No, I'm seriously just like, maybe I should ask a friend of mine who's like, you know, her special interest is the Titanic, and see if there was like a cultural phenomenon of like a generation removed from the Titanic of kids like joking about the Titanic. I'm not sure if they would have a historical record of that. Yeah, there must have been, but it's kind of hard thing to like keep track of, like in recorded history. I know. What I'm curious also is like what's going to be considered like essential literature for English classes in the future, because that's more my family speed. And I'm telling you, you may not like it, Homestuck's going to be in future English classes. I know. Well, maybe we'll know, but maybe we won't. Yeah, that's true. I guess it depends on the book. Yeah, that's my prediction. I'm sorry. Homestuck's going to be in like an English course like 80 years from now. And there won't be nothing you can do about that. Warrior cats, yeah, that's pretty defining. I don't know if it'll be an English class, but I think they'd probably like talk about it. When I was in middle school, I read the Redwall series. That was my bread and butter. It could be. Oh, I do hope we get Susie's theme in future chapters. I want a cool rendition of Susie's theme for, you know, we're probably going to get a Susie Zilla sequence. Let's get it, you know, take on Susie's theme there. And, you know, maybe if we have some other big revelation where we get, you know, another cool thing. Plus, the version of Lost Girl that we originally got had Susie's theme in it. So, you know. Yeah, it's probably going to be Fortnite. During a tense battle. Okay, do I have this already? Can I renew this part? Redo this part? No. Have I not already drawn it? Can I not copy paste? Oh, by the way, turn off that. No copy paste? I don't think I can copy paste that. Shoot. Okay, fine. Fine. Yeah, visual media classes. Wait, put Avatar into Fortnite? What? I don't pay attention to any Fortnite stuff. Well, I feel like if anything's going to be like, you know, cultural mass media stuff, it'd be Minecraft. That seems like the big one. It's had quite a bit of staying power. How would you play a pacifist monk in Fortnite? I don't know. It's another live-action remake they need to stop. Stop live-action remaking, like, Avatar. Stop it. Leave the animated children's alone. We can't have Sokka be sexist in the live-action remake because people don't like that. Yeah, it's called him growing as a character. He learns to not be sexist. That's part of the growth. It's part of the part where it's like, wow, look, we've seen this character change for the better. That's cool. As opposed to, no, characters are static and they can never, ever change. But people won't like that. That's why I get kind of annoyed at one people insisting that, like, you know, newest girl isn't canon or real, or two, the whole idea of like, oh, you know, what if it was a time loop? I'm like, then they would never grow out of it. That's upsetting. I want them to change and be better people. I want them to solve their problems, or at least try to. Okay, but to what end? To what end? It's also the issue with, like, you know, okay, the reason why I'm skeptical of anything that's like, and everything's going to end in tragedy with Deltarune is like, you know what a tragedy is because they kind of let you know from the get-go. Like, if you are, you know, watching Titanic, you know from the start of the movie that the boat's gonna sink and that, you know, Jack isn't going to live, and that's okay. You're going into that with the catharsis of that, even though we know how things end, we still appreciate how these characters, you know, what these characters went through. Or the most famous tragedy, Romeo and Juliet. They tell you how it ends at the beginning. They're like, these two people are going to die. Because they are star-crossed lovers, and, you know, bad things will happen to their thing because of their families. But their story still matters, and, like, so you still care what happens. Even, or Hades Town. You know he's going to turn around and see her, and she won't escape. That's a tragedy. The tragedy is, you know, even though we know that they are doomed, we still care about them, and the catharsis is of watching, you know, their story matter even if they're doomed. We don't know that they're doomed in Deltarune. It is not being set up as a tragedy. Yeah, exactly. That post on Tumblr is a very good thing of it. But we don't know that Deltarune is a tragedy. It is not being set up as a tragedy. In fact, the prophecy is like, and then they win. And then they beat back, and then they banish the angels' heaven. The tragedy is not like... And then the roaring happens and everybody dies. It's not being set up that way. Yeah, exactly. Tragedies have a specific formula where you know that it's going to end badly. We don't know that Deltarune is going to end badly. We know it is going to end one way, but I don't know why the idea is that, oh, this way is going to be bad. When they didn't even tell us that. They tell us, oh, they win. So if they subvert that and it's like, oh, by the way, no, they lose, it's like, wait, that's not what we were told. I mean, something awful is going to happen, obviously. That doesn't mean it's going to end on an awful thing happening. Something matters more than the ending, yeah. What bothers me is the whole thing of like, oh, the roaring's going to happen, and everybody's going to, rocks fall, everybody dies. But that's not what has been set up for us. Yeah, the roaring is going to happen, probably. I'd be surprised if it didn't. That doesn't mean that's where the story's going to stop. Yeah, the important stuff is what we have in between. But the idea that it is destined to be tragic is not really confirmed. Yeah, obviously there's different stuff going on with the weird root. That's more about, you know, breaking the narratives. Yeah, but even then, again, Undertale's not a tragedy. It is not set up like a tragedy. In a tragedy, you know that there's nothing the heroes can do to avert their fate, and you get catharsis from watching that. We don't actually know that the heroes are doomed in this case. What it seems more like is that, like, the heroes are supposed to be in these specific roles. What you are expected to play this part. And the catharsis will be for them going, no, I don't have to adhere to this specific role. I can forge my own destiny. I can make my own role. That seems to be more what they're going for, rather than nothing the characters can do can fix anything. Yeah, the thing is, if it's supposed to be a tragedy, you have to have some sign of that. I think this is less nothing you do matters, and more you can still choose. You don't have to follow the role you are given. You can choose to, you know, break free of what's expected of you. It could potentially be a tragedy, but I find it weird that people, like, assume that it's definitely going to be. That the only thing that's possible is a sad ending, when it's not. And yeah, the your choices don't matter thing feels like it's going to be... I don't think we're going to get different endings, for example, but again, the question of does nothing you do matters? Right now, the answer we're getting for that is no. The things you do matter. But basically, like if I'm going to boil Undertale and Deltarune down to their bare essentials, that the thing we hear at the beginning is a question asked, and then the theme is the answer to that question and a refuting of that idea. So, for example, in Undertale, what we first hear, the idea presented to us is kill or be killed. This is the question that's been asked. Basically, bare essentials. That's politics. The question being asked is, should you bother with caring about other people, or should you only defend yourself? And the answer that Undertale gives at the end of that is that it is important to be kind, and it is especially important to be kind if you have a lot of power over somebody else. And that the kindness that you can show when you have a lot of power over somebody else is, so great that it can even heal communal trauma. That I think is like the point of Undertale, is that it is a refutation of only care about yourself. No, it is important to be kind. It is especially important to be kind when you have great power. So, the thing I see, the way I'm seeing it now for Deltarune, is, the question that's been set up is, do your choices matter? Nothing you do matters in this world. And the answer that I believe the game is giving is that regardless of how things turn out, what is most important are the bonds that you form with other people. And these are so powerful that even the bonds that you form with people that are not real, that are fictional characters, still have real meaning. That is what I think is the point. We are supposed to like these characters. We are supposed to bond with these characters. We are supposed to recognize that even though they are fictional characters, they still, the bonds you form with them still have real meaning. And that this is a lesson that both the characters learn in the game and that we, the player, learn as we play. Same way with Undertale. Whereas, Frisk is a human in a world of monsters with great power over them as a human. It is important to be kind, especially when you have great power over somebody. And we learn that as the player, and that if you start treating, people as objects and not treating them kindly, well, another art request. Start treating them kindly. So basically both Frisk and we, the player, learn that lesson. And I think that's going to be true in Deltarune as well, that both we and the player, or we as the player, and we, like Chris and Susie and them, will learn this lesson of the most important, regardless of how things turn out, the most important thing is the bonds you form with other people, even if those other people aren't real. Right, here's Divorce Dad! Dad of divorce. Well, I think we'll be seeing next chapter. So, that is my Deltarune thesis. And that is, if you're talking about, theories of how things are going to end, I think that is the intent. I think that is where it's going. But based on what we've seen so far, and also just things, the ways that Toby has described the game, where he seems to put a lot of emphasis on, hey, I hope you make a lot of friends. I hope you really care about these characters. I really care about these characters. What interests me is empathetic subversions. That's also kind of why I'm a little bit skeptical of, oh, Chris hates the player and we're bad for playing the game. Like, I think we're actually are supposed to, like, you know, bond with Chris. Here's the goat dad. Well, there's always next time. Depends on what you want to request. Look at him in his big old flower t-shirt. His feet are way too big. Oh well. Whatever. It could be that type of tragedy. I do think definitely, like, the matter is that, you know, yeah, the bonds you form is what's most important. But I also am not so concerned, I'm not so convinced that we're getting a rocks fall, everyone dies type of ending. Man, why does my pen feel really weird and wiggly on this? I don't know, kind of weird. So let's move Asgore over here. Here's the goat dad. I think we might have a bittersweet ending, for sure. I think it's very likely we'll have an ending where, like, we have to seal the final fountain and say goodbye to our Darkner friends, which would also be tragic. Again, I do think that it's about, you know, again, bonds you form with characters. I don't know, I think this was mentioned in, like, device theory, stuff like that, but I really like, I've come to really like the idea that Gaster's deal is like a player surrogate, but in a different way, the way Flowey is a player surrogate. That, no, the way Flowey is a player surrogate is that, you know, I spend so much time with these characters in this world that they stop becoming real to me. That, you know, they're just lines of dialogue. I have exhausted, you know, these people because I'm so immersed in this world that I have exhausted these people, and now they are no longer, like, real people to me. Like I see that as, like, you know, as a Flowey XP for the player. You know, completionism taken over. So yeah, no problem. Thank you for asking for the doodle. That is what they're there for. Yeah, meaning so much. But and I like the idea that Gaster is a player surrogate in the sense that he came across these characters that you know, Susie and Noelle and Chris and all that, and he just loved these characters so much, and then discovered, oh no, they actually have a bad ending, and is like, screw that, I'm gonna fix it. I'm gonna do this fix-it fanfic, and you, the player, are going to help me. I'm gonna change things because I love these characters so much that I'm going to make a new, like, ending for them. Like, I think that would be a fascinating take. Yeah, Gaster being the fix-it guy. That maybe the ending was intended to be, you know, maybe the ending was intended to be a tragic ending. You know, where they don't make it out, and Gaster was like, "But I like these characters too much. I'm gonna write my own ending. I'm gonna make an ending where they get out okay." And that's what we're doing here. Screw the ending of the Magnus Archives. They time travel and fix it and are gay and kill the horrors. Yay! Exactly. I still have time for more of that. They are defeated with the power of their lesbian love. Yay! So yeah, I like that idea for Gaster, that what Gaster is up to is he read this story, loved the characters, was not happy with the way things ended, and is basically trying to alter the ending. I also kind of like the idea of, like, this is basically a battle of mediums. Like, that originally this medium is kind of like a written story, where, you know, it's not so much time loop as it is like, this is a story that has already been written. We as you know, the audience are a passive observer. You know, when you read a book, you can't change the ending. You can just experience, a medium from another. You can't change the ending. It's already been set in stone. All I can do is experience the story. But, and that's the medium of, like, you know, a book or a comic book or something where you're a passive participant. But in a video game, you are not a passive participant. You are an active participant. A video game, you can discover things that you might not have found otherwise. You can break a video game. You can alter parts of a video game. I like the idea of this is a battle of the mediums, and that Deltarune is kind of supposed to be a written work where nothing changes. You save the goat boy. Deltarune is supposed to be a written work that's, you can alter a book, but it's a lot harder. It's supposed to be a written work where nothing changes, and Gaster came along and was pretty much like, screw that, it's not a book anymore. I'm turning you into a video game, and we can change things that way. And that relates into characters, basically. Okay, we're in a new medium, can we break out of our roles that have been assigned to us? That, I think, would be an interesting take on things. Tragic cost of library fees. You can alter a book technically, but it's a little harder to write the ending of a book unless, you know, you're just like, I'm just going to write fan fiction for it. So that is what I hope is going on. That is this thing of like, hey, you know, this is a story that is technically already has an ending. The characters already have roles and all that stuff. But here's this other person, kind of outside of time, that loves these characters enough that they're going to alter the medium and have people change how their roles work in order to perhaps change how things go for them. I'm pretty sure there are library copies of video games, yes. I'm quite certain that exists. Libraries have a lot of things. That's why they're libraries. I do use my library to get audiobooks, which is very useful when I'm like doing chores around the house. I can just put on an audiobook and listen to it. I've gotten a lot better about actually reading books that way, because otherwise I'm like, I have no time to read ever. But I do have chores to do. I can listen to my books while I do chores. At Libraries, we have the Beats story. True. And I just know that there is soul lore hiding in that second floor of the library, and the bird is blocking it. Moo bird, let us see the lore that you are hiding from us. You jerk. When is my stretch break? At the library, you have the story beat. Teen Zone. Read the anime review? No, yes. I know. How did I do that? I didn't mean to do that. I predicted that Gaster follower. And now, my own prediction is in the way. Move out of the way of the lore. I love the books on the second floor. Can't let you read them, though. That's spoilers. Our hubris. The quinces of our conces. No. Or is it the conces of our quinces? I don't know. You think you are above quinces. That's the tragedy of not getting to the soul lore because I accidentally predicted what that Gaster follower looked like. That's the real tragedy. A real tragedy is not being spoiled. I'm a big fan. Can I get your autograph? No, my Ubers. Gasp. Hubris, no. You think you're above consequences? Yes, Mrs. Electronic Video Game. Hubris, no, look out! Yeah, we're so young, 2 days before retirement. It's always 2 days before retirement. Tetris 2 is actually called Weltris. I kind of doubt that. More stuff is on fire. Speaking of hubris, so much Eldritchrune to get through. Why is it called Weltris? I don't understand. I don't understand. I am confusion. Okay, I need to take a stretch break. We got through, yay, we got through all of the stuff for this one at least. Huzzah! Stretch break time! 3D Tetris? Didn't they come up with an actual 3D Tetris? You like put it into a sphere? Oh, you're putting him into a well? Huh? Why is like you're building up a tower, not putting stuff into a well? Like, yeah, Tetris is Russian, but that's not the impression I got from the original Tetris, is that you're putting stuff into a well. Weltris. That's extremely odd. Sounds like Weltris. Weltris. Block placing and breaking game. But you have to line up the blocks otherwise, and then they disappear. I want to rewatch good grief. I'm blanking on the name. What? My brain is stupid today. It's because I'm trying to stretch my neck. Disco Elysium wished its political commentary was so succinct. Now see, Disco Elysium can make its political commentary very succinct if it was actually about a young witch finding her neighbor's lost cat in the Alps. Wah, wah, wah. Ugh, I can't believe how far that meme has spread. Not the Alps, not the lost cat in the Alps. my goodness. And it's like, what if this thing I like was actually not at all the thing that I liked? Well, then it wouldn't be the thing that you liked. And maybe you don't actually like the thing that you like. It's the exact same. Kuno and Measurehead are still there. Racist lorry driver is still there. It's like, it doesn't even have Harry. It's just like she's in the Alps and just like it's all the same NPCs. And she's just wildly out of place. Did you want to join the gay underground? What are your thoughts on, centrism? Automatically gives the look. I think I saw somebody do like a fan art of that little witch in the Alps giving the look, like just has Harry's face on there. It's like putting Niku in Disco Elysium. I feel bad because the person that did that art that was used was, just, drawing some cute art, and then it got appropriated into this whole meme, and that wasn't the artist's fault, and that kind of sucks that, her cute art got, the artist was totally unaffiliated, and her cute art just got absolutely rolled up into this problem. I don't know, that kind of sounds like somebody who was not intending it to be a joke, and then when people were like, what the hell are you talking about? It's like, no, it was a joke, kind of thing. Yeah. It seems like it was sincere, and people were like, that sucks, actually. Then it's like, it wasn't sincere. Like, because you want to save face, obviously. It's just like, no, a large part of what makes Disco Elysium the good, like, the good game that it is, the powerful story that it is the fact is that it's deeply political. Unflinchingly, uncomfortably political. That's kind of the point. So, sanding that off, you don't really have Disco Elysium anymore. I should have saved this. I saw this fan art recently where somebody came up with a few more, voices for Harry, and they did like the art for it, and it was really cool. There were concepts of like selflessness or hope and stuff like that, but still using that cool art for those voices, and it was really neat. Okay, I will be right back for one more stretch. I'm returning! Wait, why are we putting Clover into Disco Elysium? No, keep the child out! I mean, I'm pretty sure something like Japanese exists in... Like, I know all the countries are different in Disco Elysium, but it seems like there's kind of... They're all kind of like a rough... you know, XP of each other. You have like, okay, this is vaguely France, vaguely the Netherlands, vaguely China, etc., etc. Who would win, Kuno or Clover with a gun? I don't... Why must children fight? These are just children. I don't want the children to fight. Also, it wouldn't be fair. Kuno is probably deeply high on speed. Yeah, so yeah, Kuno is already drugged up. Yeah, he'd have to have Kuno S there to be like, Kuno, he's got a gun! Pig's got a gun! Speed is why they fight. No, Clover wouldn't be on speed. At least I hope not. Unless eat the coffee beans or whatever. That's not the same kind of speed. Well, the thing is, if Clover's on acid, then, like, they just immediately die. They don't get drugged up, they just immediately die. And it's like, really? Really? Clover can't hold his acid. Yeah, there we go. Just like, yeah. I mean, you could play that way. You do have the option in Undertale to run away from every battle. It is possible. The power of a gun will force everyone to respect their pronouns. True. I do find it interesting how in Deltarune it seems like, I don't know, even with, you know, playing a neutral route in Undertale, you can still get some pretty interesting things going on, but, like, if you play essentially a neutral route in, Deltarune, that, you know, you don't recruit people, but you attack them and they run away, like, you get nothing for that. You don't even get number goes up. Like, at least in, you know, Undertale, it's like, okay, you get the little satisfaction of number goes up. That's pretty much what Kara is about. But in Deltarune, if you don't recruit everybody, and unless you're speedrunning and specifically trying to get through as fast as possible, it doesn't seem like there's really much benefit to it. Because your stats don't change. Ending stuff barely changes. It's just mostly is like, once you get to Castletown, if you don't have all the recruits, then people will comment on that and they'll be like, oh, it really sucks that, you know, not everybody's here. So, I do wonder about that. It seems like recruitment is going to be important in some way, but I'm not sure how. Like, everybody is super focused on, like, oh, you know, normal versus a weird route, basically. And I think those are the two main differences. It doesn't seem like there's that much going on if you don't recruit. Like it says, like, oh, something might happen if you recruit them all. But I don't know about not recruiting everybody. Again, mostly just seems to make people sad that the town's empty. Town's gonna be empty here. We're on the... Oh, this is on part 7 now, I think. In which we'll see a little bit of Azzy. I gotta do another scene with more Asriel investigation scenes, because I think there's going to have to be some important lore he uncovers. I gotta make sure I cover before we get to the ending. That is true. That is true. Just mechanically, I'm not sure what we're gonna get out of, you know, not recruiting everybody. Maybe, but then again, if you freeze things, that's considered lost. So, like, even if you recruit, say, a werewire, and then if you then go forward and freeze all the werewires later when you get Noelle, that doesn't count as recruited. It counts as lost. At least I think that's what it is. Like, you could recruit people from, like, Chapter 1, and they'll be recruited. But, I don't think you can recruit anybody in Chapter 2 that you freeze. Like, even if you, like, do the... Which ones are out? I guess maybe Mouse? I don't know. No? No, I think even if you... Like, even if you get all the numbers of recruits, like, if you recruit 5 werewires and then freeze the werewires, that counts as lost. They will not be recruited. You have to not only recruit them, but then not attack them afterwards. After you finished recruiting enough. Any at Queen's Castle? Okay. I guess that would be like swatches. I think you encounter mouses before that. Yeah, basically, if you attack any enemy at all, even after they're supposedly recruited, that's considered lost. So you cannot attack after recruiting. If you want them to stay recruited. I guess so. Oh, I guess there's no swatches either, so it would just be Task Manager, huh? I thought you don't fight werewire in Weird Root. You just kind of skip it. Oh, and Mouse Wheel. That's right. You can recruit Mouse Wheel. So, Mouse Wheel maybe werewire. And Task Manager. Okay, I forgot. For some reason, I thought you skipped werewire in Weird Root. Okay, huh? Interesting. I have never played the Weird Root, so I'm not intimately familiar. People will have to tell me what happens. You gotta get ready for the next chapters. You gotta do it. Get your stuff. I think my chapters are ready. I got my eggs. I got all my stuff. I got the tea, even though the tea is going to turn rotten. Oh, it's in a different room. Because normally where we're... Okay, this is so hard to say. Where wire is normally like a little mini boss before you fight Queen the first time. I just call it World Wide Web. Where wire is hard to say. Why is it said that way? That was a cool enemy, though. What's going to be our breakout enemy for chapters 3 and 4? The one we're like, oh, that enemy is so cool. Yes, I think I'm good to go. I'm still sad about the teas, but I'll live. But I think I have, spin cakes. I can get spin cakes whenever I want. And I think I still have the glow shard. Got my eggs. Got my shadow crystals. And I'm trying to think of what else I might be missing. I know, it's a sad day. She can't canonically drink Susie tea. Let her have Susie tea. Like, I understand why they got rid of it. That would kind of break the game if you could basically get a healing item that instantly revives Noelle to, like, full power every time you use it. And also be kind of a pain in the butt to keep track of that across, you know, if more characters are introduced. But let Noelle have some Susie tea. Sad. She deserves it. I think there was like one item I missed. Like I think I might have missed the tension bit. I didn't pick up the thing needed for tension bit. So or tension bow, whatever. Yeah. There was one particular item I failed to pick up, but I don't think it was that big a deal. Those 17 days are gonna go faster than you think. Watch out. It's gonna go quick like. Before you know it, it'll be like, holy crap, here it is. Yeah, the fuse items are really useful, so I'm sad I missed that one. I'm pretty sure that's the only one I missed. I'm pretty sure I got like, I think I got the twin ribbons, hopefully I did. Honestly, I should probably just open up my file and check. I know, I gotta prepare the server for that too. Goodness gracious. But I'm pretty sure I got, because I'm pretty sure the ribbons are going to be really useful. So I think I got both the ribbons, the pink ribbon and pink ribbon. Got pink ribbon. The pink ribbon and the white ribbon. Okay. You've heeded our advice. To begin. And let's see. Nope, there's nothing else I'm forgetting. I think in general, I on the last playthrough, I tried to pick choices that were either quote-unquote good ones or ones that it seems like Chris would want the most, that most aligned with Chris's feelings. I think that was my intention anyway to try. I mean, I know it's coming out on Steam, but it's probably coming out on itch, right? Should transfer over. I would be surprised if it wasn't on other PC platforms like itch. It seems like the only one that's not coming out on is Xbox. Sorry, Xbox users. I think the first version I played actually was yeah, the demo that was just downloaded off of Toby's website. So the recent time I replayed it on stream, I bought the Switch copy, and I downloaded the Switch copy, and that was my first time playing it on. Or not Switch. Steam. I bought it off Steam. And that was my first time playing it off of Steam. I don't have it on Switch, but I do have the demo on PS4. I don't think my PS4 copy is prepared though, just my Steam copy. What I need to do is, I actually want to copy paste my files, my perfect files across the other save files so I can get preparations are complete kind of thing. I don't think I've actually been to that page yet, or that room where, you know, weird things Gaster tells us about saving and copying and pasting. I need to figure out how to do that again. Like, how do you reach that save space as opposed to like the normal save menu? I know there's a normal save menu with our pretty music and shows how many crystals we have and blah blah blah. But I need to access the one where we can copy paste save files. So I kind of wanted to do that. Friend! What, like image friend? Oh my goodness! It was a cat all along. Oh yeah, there's gonna be that one room. which it sounds like it will be available in PC versions, but PlayStation, they haven't been able to get it to work. Oh, you can copy paste files on any of them? Huh. I just want to make sure I can do that. Okay, this one. As long as I can do that. But it's fun having Gaster comment on your choices. Then it will be destroyed. But the mirror already existed. Whatever he says. Okay. Also, that extremely weird option of threat level going up every time you almost erase a file and then don't. What is that about? What is going on with that? What do you mean threat level? Gaster's like, stop it, don't erase my game, I worked hard on that. My device, please. My AUs, please. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Good to know. Fascinating. As long as I can copy paste it. Gaster's like, player, please. My blorbos. Player, help me with my blorbos. And you're like, whoa, Gaster, those look just like my blorbos. And he's like, yeah, we have the same blorbos. Convenient, isn't it? I know you want to see your blorbos. And I've never even played Undertale on the Switch, so I haven't ever gotten to play Mew Mew's fight, which is kind of sad. I'm gonna do that at some point. Easy backdrops, just putting down that. Can you guess what's happening in this panel based on the backdrop alone? If you do, I'll give you a cookie through the internet. I don't know what I'd give you. I would just be impressed. This is mostly gonna be covered anyway. Oh well. Oh my gosh, I just realized it's almost noon. My time is almost up. Okay, we'll finish this page at least. Well, not this page, but at least this this thing. This section. This panel. I can't use my words. I'm stupid with words now. My words have all gone away. But at the very least, I did finish, I think it was 7-page backgrounds for part 6. So that is progress. I could do character roughs for that. Or maybe next time we can also get back to the scene with Mayor Holiday and Noelle. Dun dun, in which scary things happen. very obviously. I was mostly feeling like, I think I wanted to get some background work done today. It's always the roughs that take the most time, so being able to get through all of those is good. But I was looking at my chart of things I have left to do for the ending, and it's a lot of fills and shading is still left, and even on the parts that I've gotten all the roughs and cleans done. Maybe I should tackle more of that in the future. I agree, it feels daunting. There's so much to do. It's entirely my fault, but I'm like, oh, why is this 20 parts long? I hope people like it. Okay. So we're almost done. So much left to do. But we will get through it one little bit at a time. Okay. As soon as this is done, I think I will need to call it for the day. Okay. Yep, and there we go. This is on part 7, so new color. Whee! Sweet, okay. Did get through a good chunk of some backgrounds today. So huzzah and hooray for that. I can add it onto my big table I'm filling out. Whew. But for now, I think that will mean stopping time for me. I will maybe get to some other little, some like little Eldritchrune doodle asks I should try and poke at if I can get a good idea of what to do for it. Something in the meanwhile. But yeah, made some good progress today, had fun discussions. Thank you guys so much for coming to the stream and for chatting with me and all of our silly little fun discussions. I super appreciate it. It always makes these go very fast. And yeah, I should be back for, I think what I'm going to go ahead and do is finish Okami this next Friday. We'll go ahead and just do the end game. And maybe the weekend after that, if I can't decide on a super short game, I'll just do more art. Especially since the week Deltarune is out, I probably will not stream because I'll be kind of caught up with that sort of stuff. But there will be more stuff coming. I'm sure I'll probably do another art stream next weekend, and there'll probably be a lot more of these in the future. Oh yeah, I should have no troubles finishing Okami. We're almost done with it. It's nice to revisit it. But yeah, thank you guys so much for coming to the stream. As always, I super appreciate you being here. Thanks for following and chatting and bearing with all my blabbing away and theorizing. It's always fun. And yeah, we're making progress. And I hope that, have a nice day. I hope that you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. And I will see you all next time. Alrighty, I'll see you later.